What is going on, YouTube? This is Lawrence, the Mighty Comics Guy, back with a live stream. We haven't done one of these in a while. I'm with my man Ryan, the Comics Kid. Ryan, say hi.
What's up, guys?
We are just starting a new series that we're going to work on. It's called Classic Covers. Basically, what it's going to entail is that we are going to bring up a new book every week. A classic cover, I think, to most people, but we'll decide that like week by week. We're going to start off this week with a classic cover that we believe to be classic, and every week I want you guys to leave notes in the comments to let me know what you want for next week, and I will pick a book hopefully off that list, and we'll do that on a week-to-week basis. Let me just see if anybody's in the chat. What's going on, Rod? How you doing? Thanks for joining us here. We're trying something out this week, something called Classic Covers, where we take one book that we believe is a classic cover and we talk about it. And we also open it up to the chat to find out what everybody in the community thinks about it as well. So what we chose this week is, I'm going to try to flip it around and show you guys the book we chose this week. It is this baby right here, Fantastic Four number 12. I think most of the people would agree that this is a classic cover, and we're gonna wait a few moments to see if anybody else comes in the room, and then we'll start talking about why we think that this book is, given that title as a classic cover. So, either way, what is a classic cover, Ryan? What do you think the classic cover is?
It's like a book that people like.
But a book that people can recognize, right?
Yeah.
Book that maybe not even comic lovers, people can agree that a book they say, wow, I recognize that, and I'm not really into comics. That's what I think a classic cover is. That's what it means to me. So we'll go off of that, but it really can be anything to anyone. We can talk about newer modern variants, because some of those books are absolutely beautiful, right?
Yep.
So either way, let's jump right into it and start and talk about why we think Fantastic Four number 12 is a classic cover. So first thing that right off the bat is it sets up the first classic fight between the Incredible Hulk and the Thing. Ryan, what do you think? What's one of your things that comes right out when you look at this book?
They're like, back then they were like one of the biggest heroes in Marvel.
Yeah, I agree. Like these are probably the two of the biggest characters, like size wise, the Hulk and the Thing, and I think, which brings me to my next point, that Kirby, this is King Kirby classic art, and I think he drew this perfectly, where they're not looking at one another. They're like, side by side when it looks to be like a cavern and ready to run into one another. And I think that was probably a really big selling point of this book. So to me, that's what also makes it classic. What else, Ryan? What do you got?
And when King Kirby does the covers, it's like really like classic.
Yeah.
When I look at his covers,
I agree. Kirby's the best. That's why they call him King Kirby. And when you look at his artwork, he's unmatched in my opinion. I'm just going to check on the chat real quick. Robert, the G-Spot Galvin, what's going on, brother? Thanks for joining us here today. Any feedback, guys, would be great as well, what you think of this. I ran it on my last video, and people really like the idea of going through a book a week and picking out one classic cover and just talking about it. So that's why we decided to do it and test it out. One of the other things that I love about this cover is it kind of creates suspense. You look and you see them, they're not at one another yet, and to me that's the whole selling point. Like there's anticipation there. Like you want to open this issue and you want to look at it and you want to read it to see if they go at it. So, and of course, like we talked about King Kirby's. Anything else, Ryan, before I go on to the next one?
No.
Okay. So to me, the next biggest thing that I want to talk about on this cover is the color pattern. If you look at this book, it's obviously a gray tone book. And you just see the colors of the Thing and the Hulk, the orange, the green. You see a little bit of the Human Torch in the background, who's almost, orangey red, and then the blue on the Fantastic Four. To me, having that gray background and then these pops of color all over it is, to me, it was just way before its time. And I'm going to show a few other books right now, and I want to compare it to those, because it seems like they did this a lot in the Silver Age. So I brought a few just to kind of give an example. First one is Strange Tales Annual #2, and you can see it's kind of like the same thing. And I'm trying to avoid the glare here, but again, a nice gray cover, and you have these red of the Human Torch and Spider-Man going at it. It makes these books pop. And to me, this is another one that we can do in another week of classic, because this is unbelievably classic in my opinion. This one is gray, but also a black cover. I'll debate with anyone if this is classic or not, but to me, it's the colors that make it that way. This gray and black in the background, and then you have the pop of the lizard and the red and blue of Spider-Man. Another Fantastic Four book, Fantastic Four 51. Again, Thing being orange, and you have this classic gray, backdrop. And then a nice Strange Tales gray cover, but again, with the Thing as well. Seems like they did this a lot with the Thing. I guess maybe because he's orange, make him stand out a little bit more. I don't know. But either way, I'm going to throw this back up here one more time. The book. So let me roll through the chat right here. Yeah, I agree, Robert. Silver Surfer is another one. A ton of classic covers, and we definitely will do that. Anybody who drops stuff in the comments or later on, I'm going to go through all those videos and we'll talk about that and pick one for the next week. I think this is cool to kind of do something like this and show. And like I said, it doesn't have to be Silver Age. It could be modern book. It could be Bronze Age book. Anything that anybody thinks is absolutely classic. So we'll go through various books in various eras and find books that everybody likes. So one other thing I wanted to touch on about this book was the importance of the crossover. Of course, the crossovers has happened long before this book, but to me, the importance of having the Hulk and the Fantastic Four meet each other was instrumental. So to do it in this book, I think that's also part of the reason why it is classic. And it really has nothing to do with the inside. It's the cover which makes it classic. So that's all I really have to say about this book. Anybody else opening up to anything else? Brian, anything else you want to add to this? No. All right. Well, guys, thanks for popping in for a short live stream. We're going to try to do a live video every week about classic covers and books we think people might enjoy. So thanks for popping in, guys. This is Lawrence the Mighty Comics Guy saying thanks for watching our video, and we'll talk to you guys soon.